So, dude.
What?
No, I was gonna.
I'm usually the one that starts laughing.
No,
Why
I
are you
immediately
laughing?
saw the jacket. I was gonna talk about the jacket.
Yes.
But then.
But then what?
No, yesterday. Yesterday, dude, you buy stuff sneaky, right? So, dude, yesterday we're in the car. We got to go to Lowe's because we're gonna. I know. Before everybody goes, oh my God, Steve, Lowe's. I'm a Home Depot guy because Home Depot just feel. I'm not against either one of them. Home Depot just feels more manly to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're driving to go to Lowe's because we have to find outdoor ceiling fans. And I'm like, the electrician's coming. So I'm like, we have to have them.
And surprise, surprise, I have not picked out the fans yet.
Of course.
Yeah.
So we're driving down the road and the sun comes out. And then Captain Evil over there, out of her purse, like, dude, a schmancy, fancy, schmancy case, dude. Like, bougie, like, fancy, right? And she opens it up, dude, and I'm just driving and I'm like...
Okay. I'll let you finish telling your story. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm like, I've never seen that case. You're my wife. We spend almost every waking moment together, and all of a sudden, okay. And then she pulls it, and she's trying to be quick about it, Rick. I'm watching her. So she pulls them out, and then they're like, bling, right? They're all blinged out, and I can tell, dude, this is some fancy schmancy shit. And I go, dude, what are those? And this is what I love about my wife. She goes, just I've had them.
I have had them.
And I go, I'm your husband. If you've had them, I told you about them. And then that's her next move. First it's, I've had them. And I go, I'm your husband. I have not seen them.
I have had them.
And I'm not mad. By the way, I'm not mad. I'm just like, and I can tell they're nice because I know you, dude. They're like, and she goes,
no, okay.
She goes, they're Jimmy Choo's. And
you asked me, what kind of sunglasses are those?
Right, because
they're Jimmy Choo's.
Look, you're a little embarrassed. You're a little embarrassed.
Because I didn't tell you yesterday. First off, the sunglasses are from Nordstrom Rack, and any woman who shops at the Rack knows that they have all the glasses like out on one of those floor-to-ceiling display things. And then when you go to the register to pay, they have random cases. And so they basically like hand you a plastic tub full of cases and say, here, pick the case you want. So I picked a really pretty case for my glasses, which were at the Rack, which were not nearly as expensive as
let
they
me get
sound.
Let me get into your phases of bullshit, okay?
No, let me finish. Let me finish. Because I didn't know you were going to bring this up. So I did buy them a long time ago. I just hid them in a purse. And I forgot.
Why did you hide them? That's what I mean. Like, you don't have to hide things.
So I just remembered to pull them out. No, because I spent a lot of money in 1 week. And so I wanted to like gradually pull things out
dude,
a little bit at a time.
Her first move is, what, these? Like, what? These? That's the first move. And then the second move is, I've had them. And then the next move is, they weren't even that expensive. So then why hide them?
They're less than what you spend on sunglasses, for sure.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Way less than you spend on
and
sunglasses.
And where are every nice pair of sunglasses that I have ever bought, I still have them. As a matter of fact, I had a pair for so long. Right? And the case, they were the turtle shell with the metal on the bottom. And your dad goes, man, I really like those sunglasses. And I gave them to him.
No, you've left some on stage before.
No.
When you were performing at Winfest one time, you left
and
glasses on
them.
The stage.
And I found them. And the band lied. Remember? I found them. Every pair. Yes, I buy nice sunglasses. Very nice sunglasses. As a matter of fact, I don't have them on my head.
I know. No, someone in the comments, it was so funny. Someone said, Renae, when you're designing the new studio, make sure to put a ceiling because you always wear your hat and your sunglasses, even in the home studio.
Man ready. I'm always man ready. I got my keys. I got my wallet. I have my pocket knife. I have my hand. We went through this. And sunglasses are right here, ready to go. And now those Costas, okay, those are Costas. And those were the nicest ones I've ever bought. and they were the glass polarized. They're very nice, and they screwed up, and I had to pull the rubber out of the side of them. Right, Costa. I had to pull the rubber out of the side of them, and I still have them, and I still take care of them. And then I have a pair of Ray-Bans. I have a pair of the Oakleys. Right, I have them all because I take care of them.
That's why I usually don't spend a lot of money
And then
on sunglasses.
how many times have I gone, babe, buy yourself a nice pair of sunglasses? And then we do. And then where do they end up? Lost.
That was the last time I bought a nice pair of sunglasses.
No, my point is that I'm not, okay, first of all, welcome.
How many minutes in?
6 minutes.
We've argued for 6 minutes. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, the Stephen Captain Evil podcast, brought to you by Aztec Chevrolet, because if you guys weren't helping us, I could not afford to buy Jimmy Choo sunglasses.
Thank you for the very nice window tint on the Chevy, because my husband complains when I buy sunglasses.
And anyway, that was so stupid. Anyway, I was going to ask you about the Captain Evil. I don't even know what to call that jacket.
What is this? I don't know. It's like shiny. I forget what you
Was it
call
a rental? Are
Lame.
we keeping it? What's going on?
It's
I don't even know anymore.
It's a rental. I don't know if we're keeping it yet because I haven't checked how much it costs.
But it was cool because we went to go visit our friend Zach that's going to build our table.
Yes.
And I would like, I knew we were going to film like the experience being over there because, you know, I think people would think it was interesting, which I think they did.
Yeah.
And by the way, he does amazing stuff.
Zach has this really cool workshop, and he invited us to come up and sort of see all his stuff.
But I remember like I was starting to film, and then I'm like, oh crap, that's definitely a Captain Evil. It's almost like like if Captain Evil had a superhero outfit.
If I had a uniform, yes,
it would look like that.
Like this? You're right, actually. Yeah, I do kind of love it. I guess I will keep the jacket. Thanks, babe.
But it was fun going over there, and then you know Zach was such a and we you know when we found Zach or you found Zach.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't try and take credit for my good idea.
No. We reached out. We're like, hey man, we really want to do a podcast table and that wall on the back. And then he was like, yeah, sure, come to the studio, come check it out, blah blah blah. So we filmed, and then thanks to you guys, he got such a huge response. He goes, you know what, man? He goes, I'm gonna give you as a gift the table.
Yeah.
He goes, because so many people are following me, so many people, and we didn't ask. So the fact that you guys were interested, the fact that people did follow and did get on board, he was so appreciative that he said, I'm gonna give it to you. So I'm like, oh my God, okay, I got other shit for you to build, dude. Like, but he does like that epoxy.
They call them river tables, but they basically take an actual, like he goes and to a man who sells slices of trees, and they take an actual tree and then they fill it with like a powdered color. So you can choose any color of the rainbow you want.
But it was crazy to me because you see these river tables, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, how do they find the piece of wood that everything, right? Mm-hmm. And then I didn't realize that it's the outside. Mm-hmm. They cut it down the middle and then they flip it over, and that makes the natural curves of the river rock, the river
of the epoxy section.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was. I mean, you know, first of all, thank you, Zach, and his place is called
The Wooden Road Home. The
Wooden Road Home, and we also fell in love with Zach because of his story.
Yeah.
You know, because, and are we allowed to share that? Or is it too personal?
I think he's okay with it. No, he said, you know what? He said, when he told it to me the first time, he said, people told me I shouldn't share my story because it'll make people afraid to do business with me, or, you know,
I think it's the opposite.
Question him as a human. And I told him, no, I was like, I think it's a great story. Exactly what you said.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you admire guys like that that are, you know, he was an addict and decided to turn his life around. And he found that he had this talent of building things. Yeah. You know, and it was really cool because, and it goes back to, you know, me always talking about, you know, there is a way. If you work hard, right? Figure it out, right? And then, by the way, last episode, somebody was like, grab that crying baby. Betty is with our baby, okay? It's not, we don't just have our baby.
I call her my behind-the-scenes Betty.
Yeah, behind the scenes Betty. But he found this talent. And then what was crazy was he told me, he goes, man, I started watching videos of guys doing this.
Yeah.
He goes, and I would pause it and rewind. He's like, I would try to see every angle. I'd try to figure out
what tools they had in their workshop.
Oh, he would pause and try to see what tools they were using in their workshop. And it's stuff like that that you go, you know, how many people sit there and go, man, I'd really like to do this.
Yeah.
Right? And then go, but I don't know how. And I don't have the tools. And I mean, here's a guy, recovering addict, knew he had a talent, but needed to know what materials to use, what tools to, and a lot of the stuff he said, he's like, man, I'm figuring it out as I go. I'm getting better, you know, and he's been very successful doing what he loves. And he has this really beautiful shop in, it's not even Austin. It's Lakeway, Texas. And you go there and it's a brand new shop that he's built and he's become very successful. So it's one of those things that like stand up, like anything else. You know, you go, if you want to do it, do it. And I'm saying that to you because I know there's people that watch our podcast who have a dream to do something because you're good at it and you don't do it. Figure it out. You know, and that was what was cool about our friend Zach. I'm looking forward to, and you're going to go visit him because he's already getting started, right?
I'm going to go back. He has our tree, our slab, and he's going to pour it. I haven't decided on the color yet. Oh, but he showed me all the powders and he said you can mix them. So I'm going to let him do his thing because he's very talented, but it will be cool to see that process.
And you like, poor Zach. Like, I feel for Zach.
I'm sure he has an opinionated wife too.
Dude, I'm not kidding you, dude. Poor Milton and his crew. Like everything, they were like, Mr. Steve, can you have your wife come out here? And then you'd come out there to make a decision on the fireplace or whatever, and they'd all go. Like they literally, their shoulders.
I have to say for this one, I have stayed out of it and I've pretty much let you'll just come and ask me what I think and I say yay or nay and I come back in the house. But you are the one who's been like out there kind of checking everything.
Renae. Poor Zach. Poor Zach. But we did have Miss Dora staying with us and I wanted to talk about that because God, my mom, and you met her on the podcast. My mom is hilarious, right?
Yeah.
And she's so charming and funny, but that's what makes her like when she's mad, it's funnier. So she came to visit us for a week because my stepdad Arthur has been remodeling the home now for over a year.
Well over a year. Your mom would say like 8 years is what your mama would say.
Yeah, but well over a year. However, in Arthur's defense, they are literally redoing the entire home.
Oh, ripped out a staircase.
Yeah, they're basically building a new home, and Arthur's like, oh, well, you know, it's cost a lot of money, and you know, I'm working on it. You know, and we're putting real oak floors. Okay, these are not laminate; they're real floors. You know, so in Arthur's defense, he's really trying to give mom the very best of everything, right?
Yeah.
But it's taking forever, dude. And mom just loses it. And every time, like, she's here at the house, and then fucking Arthur, fucking shit. He pisses me off. I've had enough. I'm gonna go fucking crazy.
I wish she was here. I wish we had her on camera.
It's so funny to watch. So all week we've had her here, and just for fun, I'm like, hey, mom, you think I should talk to Arthur? Please? I'm going to fucking kill him.
She was upset he even came. She was like, it was just supposed to be me. What's Arthur doing here?
Before we left, I told Arthur, I said, hey, why don't you and mom come up to New Braunfels, stay with us? Because my mom had not met Delilah yet because of COVID. I said, she goes, I mean, we'll wear our masks, which they were very good about wearing their masks. But I go, why don't you guys come up? And then my mom goes, she does that like right? She does like Arthur's standing here. She's like, fuck. And she still says fuck, which is even in her right?
mouthing.
And then as soon as Arthur walks up, she goes, why the shit? Why the shit did you invite him?
Because he's the grandpa.
I don't want him to fucking come. He was su pinche madre, right? And then so they get here, and you know me, I'm working outside.
Yeah.
Right? I'm clearing, I'm still not done clearing all the trees. I was clearing trees and cleaning up in the backyard and raking and doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And Arthur gets out there and he's working, right? And I look out the thing, and my mom's looking at him through the window, pissed, right? And Arthur's helping me.
Yeah.
And I walk in, I go, Mom, what's going on? He's going to fucking help you? At the house, he doesn't do shit. He doesn't do fucking shit.
I know. She's always so upset when she comes to visit and he stays back that he's not watering her plants and that she's going to go home and all her plants are dead. So I'm sure she was so upset to see him in our trees.
So it was so fun to have Miss Dora here at the house. And then it was funny because throughout the week, she's like, sold more eyelashes. I sold more eyelashes. And it's just a funny. So it was good to have my mom here, and then I had to go to...
You went to Lubbock.
Lubbock.
Yeah.
Oh my dude, and I was...
Oh, how was the venue?
Well, that's what I'm gonna talk. Like, so apparently this, I thought, oh, the city of Lubbock has built a new venue.
Right.
That's not the case.
The Buddy Holly Hall.
It's called the Buddy Holly Hall because for those of you that don't know, Buddy Holly is from Lubbock, Texas, right? And I get there, and it is beautiful.
Yeah.
First class, everything. I mean, it is. I mean, the seats feel like they're on top. I mean, it's just beautiful. And I'm talking to the GM. I'm like, man, this place. He's like, we're so happy to have you. And I'm like, are you like? I was literally the first nationally touring act to go there. I was the first. I'm their first show.
Wow.
So he was like, Steve, you're our first show.
So not just the first comedian, first show, period.
They did a soft opening with the local symphony to have people like, you know. But then,
Right.
I go, this place is beautiful. You should thank, the city. And he goes, oh, no. He goes, an individual.
It's privately owned.
From Lubbock.
Uh-huh.
Donated $20 million to have this place built. Not only did he donate the $20 million, he goes, and you're going to name it Buddy Holly Hall.
He didn't even want his name on it.
I go, who's this guy? And he goes, he doesn't want anybody to know who he is. But he gave us $20 million to build this place. And I'm like, oh my, like.
Wow.
So then, I'm trying to talk to all the staff and say hello, and you know me. I was
I'm trying to figure out who it is.
Well, no. But it was really cool because, several of them were like, I have not done a show since March.
Well, yeah, theaters are like,
and they're
out of
like,
business.
we are so happy to be here. And they, when I tell you they followed the COVID rules.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a whole row, and then it was 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. In between, everybody had 6 seats in between them.
Uh-huh.
Then the row behind them was completely empty, and then so on.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody had to wear a mask, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, they're like, because you're looking at, it was I want to say 21 or 2,200 seats. Mm-hmm. But we only were able to sell 900 due to the rules, you know. And at first I'm like, oh my God, I'm looking at this place like, how is 900 people gonna make me feel
all those empty seats?
Yeah, and the place is huge,
seats,
right?
Yeah.
But it really turned out amazing, and everybody was having a great time.
Could you still hear the laughs?
Well, yeah, even though they were wearing, their masks.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're spread out. There's all these empty seats. They're wearing masks. The acoustics in a theater,
But I mean, it turned out to. I mean, it still you could still tell there was people. You know what I mean? And it was comfortable, and the people of Lubbock were I just felt like they were very appreciative of the show. And for me, man, it really felt, it just felt like I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm in a theater, right? And no offense to the honky tonks and all the venues that I've been doing. I'm happy.
I was going to say we're grateful for those.
I'm grateful and I'm happy to perform there, and I will perform there again because I enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
But it just felt back. And then I'm looking at my calendar and I'm like, oh man, then I'm going to be in West Palm Beach at a comedy club. Then after that, I'm in Miami at a comedy club. And then I'm in Phoenix at a comedy club. And I'm like, oh, like, it's just, these next few weeks are just going to feel
like you're back on the road.
Back in the comedy club venues.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that this is Delilah's first.
Well, we took a road trip this weekend while you were in Lubbock. We went back home for Tia Blanca's celebration of life.
Dude. And I was, I was. So
you look like your mom right there. I'm not gonna lie. Was that a Steve impression or a Dora impression?
Dude, I was so nervous and so worried because I know you, and I know that if things had gone bad while you were driving home, I was like, oh my, I was praying to God. I'm like, please. And look, I do think there is a God for sure, because he made sure that
she slept the whole way.
She slept the whole way. You made it all the way down to Portland, Texas.
I did.
We
made the 3-hour trip, no problem.
And you get with your mom, and then Saturday.
Yeah. Delilah was supposed to have her shots next week, but we're flying to Florida. And so I was like, you know what? I better get those moved up just in case the shots make her fussy. Holy hell.
Well, what cracks me up is you were like, so poor Delilah, I'll let you tell this part so that we can go back to what cracks me up.
Oh, well, no, just poor Delilah. I mean, she did not do well with the shots. We got all the immunizations at once instead of like splitting them up, and it just wreaked havoc on her poor little body. I mean, she lost her appetite. You could not console her. It was bad. I ended up in the pediatric minor emergency because she'd broken out in a full body rash.
But it wasn't the shots.
They say the rash was not related to the shots, that it was a viral rash. And I said, well, how does a kid get that? How do I prevent that? What could I have done? And they're like, she probably got it in the doctor's office.
I just cracked up that Renae is like all of a sudden a doctor. And all of a sudden she's like, I knew it. I knew not to let her get all the shots at the same time.
I felt total mom guilt. When you see your kids
screaming
their head off, I felt responsible. Like I should have insisted the shots get split up.
No, but you know what? I had to take Garrett for his 2-month shots without you, and it was the worst, dude. Like, and I'm so lucky that Garrett was such a tough baby. Like, dude, he looked at me and he didn't cry. He just looked at me, and one tear went down his face, and he was looking at me like, "You're supposed to take care of me." And dude, I was like, "Oh my God." And then I held him, and he was like shaking, and I was like, "I'm sorry, dude." Like, but that's why when it was with Delilah's turn, I'm like, "Go."
Yeah, but we split Garrett's up. We didn't do it all at once.
Okay.
This was like the nightmare that kept on giving for like 2-3 days.
I felt so
3 days.
So then I'm in Lubbock, right? And you call me, and then tell me. So then.
Well, I went to Tia Blanca's thing, and my mom was taking care of Delilah, and she texted me, she's really fussy. She's still crying, but like nothing major. And then she was like, I would think she's drifting off to sleep. Like she was texting me throughout the thing. So I thought it was handled. I get home and Delilah is screaming her head off. Both my parents now are in a panic. My mom had called my dad for like help and reinforcement because Delilah had just been screaming. They had her naked because she was all red and splotchy. And they're like, you've got to do something. Like, you have to do something. Right. And I thought, well, maybe I can console her. Maybe I can feed her. She did not want the bottle. She did not want food. I couldn't console her. And then the rash was like starting to move and go other places. And I was like, no, this is.
I know. And then you call me, and then I like.
No, you called me.
Well, I called
before
you.
your show, and she's screaming her head off.
Oh my God, dude, she's screaming her head off. And I'm like, hey, and I already know that you're like, look, I got to figure something out. We're going to go to, and by the way, I told Renae, I go, we have insurance and we pay a lot of money for our insurance. Go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Just go. And luckily my stepmom for 25 years of her life, she worked in a pediatric hospital.
Yeah.
Right? So I would be like, call Sarah.
Yeah.
But Renee's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, you have Sarah? We have insurance. Go to the freaking doctor. But I felt horrible, right? And then I get home yesterday. I drive home. I get home yesterday. And I walk in. And she's asleep.
She's sleeping soundly. I was like, this is so not fair. You're going to come home and get like a happy, smiling baby.
It reminds me of the time. So Garrett is sick. And by the way, Garrett's 5, and he has probably thrown up twice.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, Rick, but I think that's a pretty good, for a 5-year-old, dude, he's only thrown up like 3 times. Right?
Yeah.
But
or on 3 occasions.
On 3 occasions, maybe, max. I want to say 2.
Yeah.
2 that I can remember. But we're sitting on the sofa. Renee's over here, I'm over here. And Garrett is cuddling with me because he's sick. And I'm holding him like this. And I always, like, I tell people all the time.
I know what story you're going to tell too.
But I tell people all the time, like, really, you have to really enjoy hugging your children. Like, because they only let you hug them.
Yeah.
For like 2 years.
Yeah, and then they're like mobile and running around.
Yeah, and get off me, right?
Yeah.
And now he's 5. You get a few minutes, right? Where if you're watching TV, he'll jump into my lap and he'll
cuddle on with the movie.
But then he punches me, and then you know what I mean. We end up wrestling. But so anyway, he's cuddling with me, and I'm like, oh, like he's like probably like what 3, 4?
Yeah.
3 or 4, and I'm like, oh, it feels so good to cuddle my son, but I also feel bad because he's sick, And then he goes, Dad, I'm going to go sit with Mommy.
I want Mom.
And I go, okay, buddy. So he crawls across the couch and he sits on her lap and Renee's holding him like this. And she goes, oh, buddy, are you okay? And he throws up.
Projectile vomit.
Into her mouth, dude. Hair.
Hair dripping down my neck, down my shirt.
Dude, I get that. So then she's like, help me. And I'm like, I can't. Because if I go over there.
It was like a cartoon. You're like running back and forth without doing anything.
I grabbed a towel and just threw it at you. I'm like, here.
No, I had bought plastic tubs for something. I was organizing something and I'm like, get a plastic tub.
But I'm like, Garrett, that was perfect. Like,
perfect.
Like literally for him to leave my lap, crawl over to you,
make it to me just in time to puke all over me. Yeah.
So I'm excited that we're all gonna travel as a family.
Yes.
We leave on Thursday to go to Palm Beach, Florida.
Yeah.
To do the show there. I love Palm Beach.
It's chill. It's really cool.
It's really nice.
I haven't been there this time of year before.
We stay in a nice hotel.
It was October. It was like Halloween-ish.
We stay in a really nice hotel, which is like right by the club, so it's not too far. The swimming pool, except I think Miami is kind of bleeding into Palm Beach because like the pool is really cool and it's really nice.
Yeah.
And we met a really cool couple.
Yes.
There because they had a little girl and then they were playing, and you're like, oh man, this is nice. And then for some reason on Saturday. They bring in the DJ, and it's like oosh, oosh, oosh at the pool, and I'm just like,
they throw out the pool floats,
and it turns into Miami, and I'm just like, oh God, can you turn it down, guy? Like I'm at that age, but I've never been the let's go to the pool, and I want to hear a DJ guy. Like I've never been, that guy. Yeah. And Miami, dude. Miami, you walk into the freaking Whole Foods and there's a Dale and there. I mean, it's like, everywhere in Miami, right, Rick? It's like it's unbelievable. You can't go anywhere in Miami without oosh, 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 But it feels very Miami, and that's Miami. But I'm in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of white people in the pool. None of them want to hear oosh, 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 you know. But we love going to Palm Beach. I'm very excited that we're going to travel as a family. And it really trips me out. It really trips me out. I didn't get on a plane until after high school.
Oh, and that Garrett is like a gold member on American Airlines?
Yeah, Garrett's gold on American Airlines. So I didn't get on a plane until after high school. I didn't sit in first class until my mid-30s, right? And now, of course, I get first class all the time. But now when I travel with you guys, you losers, I got to go to the back. I'm like, oh man, I walked past first class. But it's not that good anymore. They don't have with COVID, they don't have the same food. But it just trips me out that my daughter at 2 months old is going to get on a plane and fly. And it scares me because I know her ears are going to pop and we're going to be those people.
Well, I mean, I'm going to feed her the bottle. They say either you nurse during takeoff or you feed, because something about like the sucking, just like chewing on gum, for adults.
I don't know, man.
Helps with the ears. So we're going to do that.
That's why I'm going to sit in the back. Dude, you're going to sit with the baby. Me and Garrett are going to sit in the back, and we're going to be looking at the people next to us like, I know, right? Like, who brings a baby on a plane? I'm really nervous.
I'm a little nervous, too, because it's just, one, it's been so long, I feel like, since we've traveled, period.
Garrett did
and
great.
Then to be doing it with two, I'm a little nervous about traveling again this go-round.
Garrett did great when he was that age.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is now Garrett knows how to do it on it. Like, he knows the routine. He goes through security and he pulls out his tablet and puts it on the belt.
Garrett's like seasoned traveler.
Yeah, he knows the whole thing,
is there a lounge at this airport? Is there a lounge? I'm like, what? He's like, do they have a kids club at the lounge? I'm like, you're a little shit, dude. Where's the lounge? Is this all the free food they're going to have? They don't have. Where's the ice cream machine? I'm like, oh my God, dude, this fucking kid.
Yeah.
5 years old. Where's the lounge?
Like, going up to the bar, ordering milk.
Yeah. No, and that's another thing that we do that a lot of times, I think it's very important that Garrett learns to ask for things on his own.
Yes.
I think a lot of parents go, I need a milk for my kid. And I'm like, no, dude.
Or orders for the kid.
For the kid. I insist that Garrett go to the bar because that's where the milk is. I'm like, you want milk? I'm watching you. I'm sitting here. I see the bartender. Go ask. And he will. He'll get up and he'll go ask. But I think that breeds confidence. That breeds him being able to...
Some independence.
Yeah, some independence.
Yeah.
Him being able to speak to other people and not be afraid to ask. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think a lot of parents, for whatever reason, he wants a milk and he wants pancakes. Can he not talk?
Yeah.
Can your kid not speak? If your kid can speak, make him order. And dude, but it is funny because he's been doing that since he was 3, and the waitress would be come over and be like, "Excuse me, do you guys have pancakes?" And the waitress is just like, "Did that 3-year-old just ask with syrup and extra butter?" And they're just like, "Did that 3-year-old just like, excuse me, miss, ma'am, do you have sausage? Is it spicy?"
Yeah.
But we want to teach our kid independence.
Yeah.
We want to teach our kid, hey man, be aggressive.
Oh God, he was so good this weekend with my folks. Like Delilah was fussing and my dad had her, and so he tells my dad, I think she's hungry. Or he'll be like, okay, if she doesn't want to eat, then it's probably because you need to change her. Like, and have you burped her? You're supposed to burp her after every ounce. Like,
he's gonna be bossy like mommy.
But just from hearing us talk, he's like picked it up.
But I'm very excited to announce the reason you look at the set in the background. We changed it up a little because I am gonna be on.
Can we say?
Yes.
We can share?
Yes. Next week I'm gonna be on Extra, and I got interviewed by Billy Bush.
Can I tell you, when I was in here when Steve was doing the interview, it's a Zoom interview, so he was doing it on the tablet, and I see you talking, and then all of a sudden I hear Billy Bush's voice. I don't know why that was so cool to me. I was like, that's Billy Bush. Yeah, it was really cool.
And what was even funnier is because it's a Zoom, I'm wearing these shorts. and these flip-flops, but yet I have a collar shirt.
Yeah.
Right? And not in a million years do I think nobody's going to know, right? And then I bring up that I have nice calves.
Yes.
And the legs show. And then Billy was like, wait a minute, you have nice calves? I have nice calves.
Not to be out-calved.
And he goes, we need to have a calf off. And I go, yeah, Billy, let's have a calf off, right?
You're like, actually, I'm very conveniently wearing shorts.
Yeah, so...
Wait, was he wearing shorts too?
No, he rolled up his suit pants.
Oh, yeah.
And he pulled his calves out, and then he was proud. I could tell Billy was like, and I'm like, bitch, come on, son. Are you getting a call from me? Oh, that's my stepmom. So I'm like, come on. And he was proud. And he did, I got to admit, he had the little horseshoe like me. He had nice...
he did?
He did. He had
Okay.
nice calves. And then Daddy gets up on this couch here, and then you see it in his face, the look of defeat. and you can always hear in people's voices, he was like, oh. It's kind of like when people meet you, and they don't know what you look like. And they're like, oh, that's your wife? Like, oh, wow, she's very pretty. And I'm like, what? You think I married a troll? Funny people get hot chicks. So anyway, we had a calf off. I hope they keep it.
I'm curious to see Billy Bush's calves next week. I hope they keep it too.
So next week, guys, on Extra, we will let you know via my Facebook. I'm gonna put on everything. I'm gonna put on everything.
Yeah.
And then it was really cool because Billy, at one point, Billy goes, wow, your career, now you're on Extra, and I'm like, dude, this is so cool for me.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be on Extra. This is awesome, But he, of course, he downplayed it like, oh, sorry, you're on Extra. I'm like, bitch, I'm telling everybody, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna be on Extra for National Marriage Week, and I thought it went well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was a little.
I mean, they'll edit it, so it'll be cool for us to see too, like what stays in the interview, what gets taken out.
Oh, I mean, I hope.
That's always fun.
Sarah called you now. Like it's. Oh.
I know it's about the key. I'm sure.
Hold on. Hello.
Are you busy? Are you busy?
Yeah, we're filming a podcast. What's going on?
Oh, call you back.
Bye.
That was Grandpa Joe.
Yeah, Grandpa.
Call you back.
I'll call you back. God damn Chris. But it was exciting. It was fun. I think it went. I mean, I never know how things come off.
Yeah.
I do the best I can, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like if I'm with him,
you can feel someone's energy and you kind of know. It's why I hate talking on the phone. I hate talking on the phone because I feel like I'm always cutting someone off. You can't see them, so you don't know, like, can I jump in now?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I could also tell what really sucked. And the worst thing that could ever happen for comedy is a delay.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I could tell
just like technology, the sound.
I could tell that he was on a delay, so I would say something funny, and I wanted that laugh immediately, and then there wasn't there, and then
I didn't think about that.
And then like 2 seconds later, he'd go, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, thank God!" Like there it is.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a long pause; it was just enough to make me go, "Oh shit, I wasn't funny." you know what I mean, Rick? Like there was that like 2 seconds where I'm like,
crickets.
He didn't get my joke, right?
Yeah.
But
he's such a pro. Like he was able to just jump in with you too, and he
was great.
Was great at just keeping the interview going.
He was, and I do agree with you. There's something about his voice and him that's so. It's like Ryan Seacrest or
Dick Clark, right? It's almost like this voice.
You just know
that
it.
voice.
You just know it, right? You just know his voice because his voice has been around our lives for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like. I hope that you guys watch Extra. Next on Extra, Steve Trevino. Extra. The best calves you've ever seen. Extra. Billy Bush thought he had badass calves, but he doesn't. Extra. On the next Extra, the best calves you've ever seen. Extra.
Okay, we get it.
Okay, it's gonna be awesome.
That's gonna be all the interview is just your calves.
I hope so. I hope I go viral for having the best calves in the business.
You might, baby.
Like I want to come out in Heartthrob magazine, Tiger Beat.
Tiger Beat.
You know.
Do they even just
I
don't
even
make
know.
tiger meat. That's funny.
I don't even know as the guy.
Your
with the-
calves next to Jonathan Taylor Thomas hair.
I want other comedians to be mad that I'm the calf guy. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? But I did appreciate the people of Lubbock.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to go to Palm Beach with my family. Hopefully we will. And you've been doing such a great job of Instagramming more,
Yeah.
of kind of keeping people up to date on what's been going on in our lives.
Well, with Garrett, we were traveling all the time. So there was like tons of stuff to share, cool places that we were visiting, and travel tips and things like that, traveling with kids. And we hadn't been doing that for a long time. So I'm excited.
And then the last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here, and Rick might edit it because I'm going to go off a little bit.
Uh-oh.
But
Oh, shit.
yeah. Well, no, we're so, and we've had other sponsors on our podcast, and we've been very appreciative of them. But consistently, we have had Aztec Chevrolet.
Yeah.
And and it's funny because agents and managers always tell you there's got to be a separation between you and the client, and I have a really hard time with that.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm talking to Aztec Chevrolet, who are South Texas boys. As a matter of fact, his last name is Trevino, right?
Yeah.
And I've gotten to know these guys, and we have conversations, and we text each other. And
Really, no relation anywhere?
No.
No.
Well, we're both short and stocky, so
It's so possibly.
yeah, who knows? It might be my brother because Papa was a Rolling Stone. You know what I mean? So, me and the team over there have become friends, and we're really happy to have Aztec Chevrolet, and I want to make sure that I'm doing a good job for them.
Yeah.
I've never been the kind of person that took a job, any job, and not did a good job.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm the dishwasher, like my dad used to tell me, be the best damn dishwasher anybody's ever seen. And I was. When I was a dishwasher, I was the best damn because I always want to do a good job.
Yeah.
Right? So I decided just to give them a little extra something, which, by the way, they didn't ask for.
Yeah.
We're driving around in the high country Tahoe.
Yes.
I go, you know what? I love this vehicle. I think it's awesome. I think people should see it. I'll make it somewhat entertaining and funny. And it'll be kind of a little commercial for Aztec Chevrolet, right?
Yeah.
So I did it. We put it out. And, right now it's at like 35,000 views, which is really cool. But what irked me is this attitude, right? This guy goes, sell out, right?
Oh, I didn't see that.
And it frustrated me because if you're calling me a sellout because I'm selling Chevrolets, then you should have been calling me a sellout a long time ago, because right now I sell chicken strips and beer. That's my job.
Yeah.
My job, the reason I get booked in Palm Beach at the Improv is because I sell chicken strip and beer.
Yeah.
People come to my show
And buy a lot of beer.
and they make that business money.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't understand when they say things like, well, that guy's a sellout. And it's like, dude, the best line ever was I think Metallica, somebody said, you're a sellout. And he goes, yeah, we sell out everywhere we go, right?
Yeah.
We sell out shows everywhere we go. But I just want people to understand that Aztec Chevrolet, especially during COVID, is allowing me to continue to do my dream.
Oh, I was going to
You know
say,
what I mean?
I feel like on my page, I did something with a cleaning supply brand, and people were so sweet. And they were like, I'm going to go out and try this. I'm going to go out and buy it. Like, people supported it just because they wanted to support us. And they know
Sure.
that support is necessary to continue doing this.
Well, and what people don't understand is I am already a Chevy guy, so
Yeah.
it worked out great. I already like Chevrolet, so it worked out great. We've had other offers on this podcast to do sponsorships for podcasts. Sex toys are a big market for podcasts, and we turned it down. We turned down the sex toys, but at the end of the day, it drives me crazy the way some people view things. And for this person who put sellout, I just thought to myself, man, you don't get it. You know, and I don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
But I bet you that person has a hobby. I bet you that person likes to fish or likes to play golf or likes to do something.
Uh-huh.
And you're telling me that's somebody that if I went to them and said, listen, all you got to do is think Aztec Chevrolet every once in a while and you get to do what you love. Are you telling me you're going to tell them no? That's insane.
Yeah.
You know, I'm able to do what I love because people buy tickets. And when they buy tickets, they buy beer and chicken strips. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people think I'm funny, and Aztec Chevrolet said, hey, here's an opportunity for us, right, to be a part of Steve's audience. We'll pay him for that. So I'm doing what I love. And and I'm not mad at that person.
Yeah.
Right? I just want people to understand that when you say things like sell out, right?
Yeah.
To me, you know, and to me, by the way, you know, there is a line. You know, sex toys, we're not doing it. Right? That's not our brand.
Yeah.
It's not what we talk about or believe in.
We'll
you know
say
what I mean?
curse words out the wazoo, but
You know, and we've gotten hit up for products that are not tested yet,
yeah.
and we're like, no, we cannot do this product because we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't use it ourselves. Number one,
Yeah.
and number two, we don't know. We don't want to encourage the people watching to go out and buy something that, number one, we don't believe in. Number two, we don't even know if it works.
Right.
So we're not going to take the money.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when you got good guys like Aztec Chevrolet, who to me sell a wonderful product like Chevrolet, I can get behind that. And I'm happy to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So to that person that said, hey, Steve, you're a sellout. I'm sorry I disappointed you, but I'm going to continue to sell out. So that's our episode. Thank you for listening to me and my beautiful wife. This episode was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I hope they like it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it scares me because this episode is following.
Oh, such a heart-wrenching episode.
Oh my
I
God,
know.
You know, and then people were like, best episode ever. And I'm like, well, we're done. I guess we're done. I guess we're done. Unless another ant dies soon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're done. But again, there's going to be, you know, moments throughout our week that we want to share with you. And we will always be honest. And we hope that you continue to watch, continue to share.
Oh, and the Amazon Watch Party. We're going to do that. We're going to do it. Yeah, yeah. On the 11th, Thursday, February 11th, the week of Valentine's Day.
Thursday, February 11th. From Miami. Are we going to be in Miami?
Yeah. Mark
I'm going to have a DJ in the house. Oosh, 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 oosh. Right?
No, but mark your calendars. Plan it as your date night. We're going to be watching My Life in Quarantine live with other people watching it at home.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That means I have to wear clothes.
Yes.
I like being naked. Well, not naked. I like to be in my chonies. I like to be in my underwear. I don't like being naked because then the neighbors look through the window and then the wives are all sad and it's the whole thing. But I'm Steve Trevino. This is my beautiful wife.
Renae, Captain Evil.
You look beautiful.
Thank you, love.